Test of power. I guess we'll see.
Instead of giving us the constant reminder that it's a Budokai Tenkaichi game, how about you actually put it in the fucking title? I understand that it's called Sparking in Japan, but over here, having it being called Budokai Tenkaichi 4 would have went a lot harder in my opinion. I feel like every ounce of news that gets dropped about this game is like no shit.
Bandai dropped an absolute banger of a Fusions trailer. Nobody expected characters like Vegito and Gogeta.
Like, are you actually fucking joking right now? I'm pretty sure everyone was expecting them. I would be more surprised if they weren't there, my guy. So, about the roster. 165 characters or 165 character slots, because there's quite the number of character slots taken up by one person. This is actually gross to look at. I was expecting the character selection screen to look like the second and third one, but now they have it looking like a first-person shooter. Honestly, I'm not even worried about the roster. It's not like the PS2 days where you just buy the disc and you have all the content there. I'm sure this game's going to be supported for a long time with updates and DLC. Like Xenoverse 2, they're still making content for that game. That game probably has more content in DLC than the actual game itself. Yeah, but the way they had this roster laid out is just disgusting. They should have just stuck with what they did with the previous games. You click on the character and then the transformations show up. And they could have done the variations like the Storm games, or what they did with Xenoverse. I don't like looking at this. Honestly, this is an early build of the game. They're probably going to fix this later. Probably. Maybe. I hope. And I don't know why everyone was so surprised that the game was going to have 164 characters. That is counting transformations and multiple copies of the same character. And also, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had around the same amount of characters, including transformations, of course. But since Sparking Zero has more transformations and more character slots taken up by one person for no reason, Tenkaichi 3 might actually have more characters at the moment. And that's not even a big deal because that's at the moment, and also, Tenkaichi 3 had a lot of junk characters, and most of the characters shared the same moves. It was like they were doing a coin toss between who gets Super Kamehameha and who gets Super Explosive Wave. I was wondering about the minigames that go on during the loading screens, and then I remembered that loading screens were so 4 years ago. But this transition right here, pretty clean. I think all the gameplay looks good. The only thing I really didn't like is what they did with the beam struggles. It looks fucking awful. The camera spins around as you're doing a minigame based off of timing. It's like they're trying to make you dizzy. It's really distracting, plus I can't really watch the beam struggle when I'm too busy focusing on the minigame, when it is solely based off of timing, something you have to pay attention to. And I don't even know why they have that as the minigame. That doesn't even fit the situation. When I'm in a beam struggle, I want to have the feeling of constant tension. They tried to fix what wasn't broken, and it just looks bad, like the way it looks and the way it plays out. A button mashing minigame would have made a lot more sense, honestly. Another thing I wanted to bring up was characters having really long animations for moves that are really accessible.
More time with that will kind of determine how I feel. And here we do another sword slash. This is where I was like, I don't know, man, this animation a little long. I don't even think this hits. So you can see there's a lot of the animation before it even connects. So see, yeah, I pretty much just put a timeout on the match.
I thought he was performing an ultimate. That was a normal move that only cost 3 key bars. And it's not like he had to land it for the animation to happen. It just starts. An ultimate, maybe, but a normal move, if I have to sit through the same animation more than 3 times in a match, that is going to get old real quick. A thing that made me really happy, though, was when you're doing a tag battle and you're swapping out people, it's nice and quick and it just happens. The game that was bad about swapping out teammates was Raging Blast 2, because your opponent can intercept and it forces you to play a minigame, which is the biggest waste of time. Like, pay attention to the health. Nothing's happening. It's just a dumb thing they added to make the game look more flashy. I remember when that game came out, they got in trouble for plagiarism, and after a month they had to swap their entire soundtrack out with Tenkaichi 2. So I'm hoping the same thing doesn't happen with Sparking Zero. I don't even know if the music's bad or not. I haven't really paid attention, honestly. But I don't really think anything's going to top Tenkaichi 2, to be completely honest. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the box art. I didn't really like it at first, but it grew on me. I feel like it would make a better poster than anything, but it's fine. Thank you if you made it towards the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and yeah.